UFC on ESPN 3, Fight Night, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Jacare versus Hermanson, the entire event recap, quick fire time, boys. You ready? Court McGee versus Diego Lima. Close fight. I predicted Diego Lima to win. He gets the job done. Risky in the third round, but the first two rounds he was just on a different level to Court McGee. Court McGee's still doing the damn thing. I respect him. But, you know, if you're not good enough to beat Diego Lima, you're not good enough to beat anyone ranked. We'll see what's next for Diego Lima. There's got to be a name for him at welterweight. We shall see. Maybe he takes on Jake Matthews. You know what I'm saying? Jake Matthews is a good fight for him. Let's do that. Diego Lima versus Jake Matthews. Make it happen, boys. 170. Let's do it. Angela Hill versus Jodie Esquibel. Angela Hill gets the decision, as I predicted again. Jodie Esquibel looked like shit, and Angela Hill just a much better fighter in general. Nothing much really to say about that. She's much taller. She used her range. Jodie Esquibel didn't really have any skills to like make any sort of threat whatsoever. She made Angela Hill look good. I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? Jim Miller versus Jason Gonzales. Again, I picked Jim Miller to win. He gets the win. Lyme's disease all the way, boys. Team Lyme disease, baby. Good old Jim Miller getting the job done once more. Submission in round 1. Good job, Jim Miller. I don't know what's next for him, but he's won 2 in a row. Oh, no, he hasn't won 2 in a row. He lost to Oliveira, didn't he? Fuck me, I got that one wrong. He can ask for a bigger fight. He can ask for a big name. Maybe they rematch him with Dan Hooker and he gets knocked out again. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen, boys? We shall see. Then you move on. Carla Esparza versus Verna Jandiroba. Close fight. Carla Esparza gets it done. Boring as fuck, guys. I don't care what happens to either person after this. It was terrible. It was just no skill, start to finish, and it annoyed me, if I'm honest with you. Andrei Arlovski versus Augusto Sakai. Speaking of boring fights, I thought Arlovski done enough to win. They gave it to Sakai. I don't care. I don't care that there was a bad decision, if I'm honest with you. I predicted Arlovski to win. I was wrong. Well, I was right because he won, but the judges saw that I was doing too good with my predictions, and they were like, hey, we're going to fuck you, MMA Guru. Fuck you. You don't get predictions right. You're ruining our betting odds. You know what I'm saying? So they gave it to Sakai. Not good enough, Sakai. You fat fuck. Not good enough whatsoever. You're never going to compete at heavyweight. Oh well. 13-1. Good record. But he looked like complete trash against Arlovski. But again, Arlovski's one of those guys. Very hard to look good against him. You know what I'm saying? He's a tricky veteran. He knows the tricks. He knows how to stall out a fight. Make it slow. And that's what he did against Sakai. Ben Saunders versus Takashi Sato. I picked Sato to win because Ben Saunders has taken a lot of damage recently. I was correct. He predicted a dip down from Ben Saunders with the left hand after the jab. Fake the jab, come through with the left hand. Mark Hunt versus Frank Mir style. Gets the job done against Ben Saunders. Well done, Takashi Sato. I liked it. Very nice performance. And he took some damage that fight as well. People say early stoppage, and then you see what state Ben Saunders was in after the fight. Knew the explosive stunts. Just subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much, dude. I appreciate that shit. Takashi Sato, phenomenal performance. Great job. Took some damage. People say early stoppage, but Ben Saunders was fucking springing all over the place after the fight was over. So, you know, I don't blame the stoppage. It was alright. You know, he saved his life, pretty much. Guy's still breathing. Early stoppage. We need Mario Yamasaki back, boys. Bring him back. Main card. Roosevelt Roberts versus Thomas Gifford. Disappointing. It was my Prospect Spotlight. If you don't know, I have a series called Prospect Spotlight where I'm 6-0 on predictions that I know are going to be a guaranteed fact. I'm 6-0. Roosevelt Roberts gets to win over Thomas Gifford. Thomas Gifford looked like shit. Roosevelt Roberts looked like less shit. Roosevelt Roberts got the win. I think it's a weird one, boys. I want to see if Roosevelt Roberts can take some time, maybe. I don't know who's next for him, but he should definitely take some time off. And we'll see where things go from there. John Lineker versus Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen gets to win, as I predicted again, boys. Okay, close fight. People thought Lineker won. Not at all. I don't understand that mindset whatsoever. Corey Sandhagen was out jabbing him and just jabbing his face off the entire night. I don't care if someone looks like they threw more into a punch. If someone lands 3 punches and another guy throws an overhand and it glances off you, the 3 jabs are worth way more, in my opinion. But, you know, that might just be me. Who knows? I'm going with Corey Sandhagen. I thought he won the fight. He won the fight. I was right again. Corey Sandhagen, great fighter. Bantamweight. Sandhagen versus Garbrandt. Sandhagen versus Davis. There's some fights to be had, boys. There's some big fights to be had at bantamweight. Sandhagen versus Nathaniel Wood. Big fights at bantamweight, boys. Sandhagen gets right into the mix. I think he'll be top 10 ranked after tomorrow or something, whenever they do the rankings. But who the fuck cares about the rankings at this point? Glover Teixeira versus Ion Cutelaba. Cutelaba lets me down. I predict him to win in the first round by KO. It was so close to happening. I need to burp. We're good. So close to happening. He gasses out in the second round. The tricksy veteran Glover Teixeira gets the job done. Ion Cutelaba slips over off of a front kick. Teixeira takes advantage of it. Finishes him by rear naked choke. Very nice from Glover Teixeira. Next fights I want to see. Teixeira versus Reyes. Teixeira versus Hoa. Shogun Hoa. Or Cutelaba versus Hoa. Or Cutelaba versus Tyson Pedro. Make those fights happen, boys. Those are great fights to go from here. Cutelaba has nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing to be ashamed of. He's 24 or something. How old is he? 24? 25. And I think he turned that recently. So yeah, he's killing it right now. Keep going, Cutelaba. You've got a long time to go. Mike Perry versus Alex Cowboy Oliveira. Mike Perry gets the job done. I think it was entirely based on Oliveira breaking his foot in the third round. But Perry gets it done. I'm glad. I'm a huge Perry fan. Team fucking Platinum, boys. His girlfriend or wife now has a fat ass, and I love it. 8 out of 10, at least. Mike Perry gets the job done. Great job. Overhands all day, baby. Gimme, gimme. Good job from Mike Perry. Very nice. Greg Hardy versus Dmitry Smolyakov. Fixed. Stupid fight. The worst fight in terms of skill level I've ever fucking seen in my entire life in the UFC, let alone at co-main event status. What do you do? Get rid of Dmitry Smolyakov. He can go back to being a fucking lifeguard. If I'm honest with you, I don't give a fuck about him. Greg Hardy, give him to Arlovski. See how he does. I hope he loses, because... Actually, I don't hope he loses. I hope he wins, because we need contenders, and we need new names with a lot of buzz behind him, which he has a little bit of buzz, more than anyone else at his stage of his career. But it's just a shit performance, and it looked like a fixed fight, so I'm going with a fucking fixed fight, if I'm honest with you. Dmitry Smolyakov looks like trash. Ronaldo Souza versus Jack Hermanson Jacare. Jacare. Climbs to the top of Mount Everest every time he's at the top of Mount Everest. He's about to put the flag in to show that he's got there, and there's a fucking avalanche. You know what I'm saying? Every time he rises to the point where there's a title shot on the line, he loses. Whitaker was the first time. Hermanson was the second time. Romero was the third time, before all of them. Romero was the first, Whitaker was the second, Hermanson was the third. Tough times for Jacare. Hermanson. I predicted Hermanson would win. I predicted Perry would win. I predicted Greg Hardy would win. You know, it just feels bad for Jacare. I know. He's good, though. He can retire and open up a jiu-jitsu school and make more money doing that than he would with a UFC belt, because you know how shit the UFC pays their fighters. So, you know, or, you know, go and make 3 times as much as at Bellator. You know what I'm saying? 3 times as much at Bellator. You think if Lyoto Machida beats Chael Sonnen, you wouldn't want to see Lyoto Machida versus Jacare Souza? But obviously that requires Machida to beat Chael Sonnen, which also means that Machida's going to have a big task on his hands. The undefeated Chael Sonnen, the GOAT of all time. Even though that's what GOAT means. The greatest of all time. Chael Sonnen, the American gangster of West Lynn, Oregon. Never. Machida can't hang. He just can't hang with the greatest of all time. Hermanson his performance was amazing. As I predicted, I thought he was going to beat him. I didn't think he was going to beat him over 5-round decision at all. I'll tell you that much. 2 weeks notice he goes 5 rounds with Jacare. What's next for him? What does he have to do now? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe Yoel Romero. Maybe Paulo Costa. One fight. Or, if not next, one fight and he's got the title shot. It all depends on what happens with the title when Adesanya faces Whitaker. Because in my opinion, Jacare is the number 2 ranked middleweight in the world. Don't give a fuck about the rankings. Israel Adesanya beat Kelvin Gastelum, who was number 4. And now he's number 1. Doesn't make any sense. So, I'm going with Hermanson getting the next title shot after Adesanya Whitaker, or faces one more guy and gets the title shot after that. We shall see. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Maybe Hermanson versus Weidman, or Weidman can just fuck off, or Hermanson versus Gastelum. Those are good fights. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. That was a full event recap. See you later. But yeah, subscribe though, because I need 1,000. I've got to get paid, boys.